Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Jeff of Ryan and Jeff, and this is your AEW Rampage review. I don't know where my backgrounds are because that shouldn't still be in my background. Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome. So yes, I am back. It was a very long few days in Atlantic City, where I conquered the longest amount of wrestling one can take in a single evening, starting with next week's Dark Elevation and ending with Rampage. So you had an hour of Dark Elevation, which is going to be very good next week. Ryan will definitely be on to tell you all about how good of a Elevation show that is. We have some cameo appearances from some members of a TV show that are pretty popular. Then obviously Dynamite was amazing. The Keith Lee debut, I was front and center for that. That was pretty awesome. Then I saw on the big board when the Bucks were about to beat up on Trent, and all of a sudden you see that leather jacket with those little marks on it, and you know what the deal is. You know you're about to get Switchblade Jay White, and we did indeed get that. And I'm going to talk about more on Rampage, how Switchblade made his statement and took out Trent Beretta. So Switchblade in AEW is something I've been asking for 100 years, and I don't know what kind of beautiful story they're telling with him and Adam Cole, and the whole Bucks not liking that Adam is bringing its own people, basically, to kind of form his own faction right under the noses of the Young Bucks. But with that said, let's get on with the damn show. So obviously the show started with the Young Bucks. So Young Bucks got Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero, so Roppongi Vice versus the Young Bucks. This is a match that's happened over 50 times over their careers. So you knew it was going to be a banger, and man, was it a banger. We had a very good match back and forth. We had Orange Cassidy was at ringside, and we had which is going to be such a good comedic duo, leading forward. And then once he can get in the ring, he's going to show you what he can do. But Orange Cassidy is kind of cornered by the Young Bucks on the outside of the ring, so he lays down and rolls under the ring. And then you see his Orange Cassidy thumb pop out, and the Bucks go to grab it, and it is none other than Mr. Under the Ring. It is the Danhausen. So Danhausen gets pulled out, and he hits him, and he curses both Matt and Nick, and then that leads to two topes from Trent Beretta and from Rocky Romero. So Roppongi Vice gets a nice little tope there, which was very good. It was a very long match too, but at the end of the day, the Bucks hit that BTE trigger for the win. They beat Rocky Romero. Cutler then gets weird with Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy gives him the orange punch. Then he gets laid out by a super kick. And then Trent comes in for the save. And then Switchblade comes in and hits Trent with the Blade Runner. And that is where they leave that scene off, is with King Switch sitting in the ring. And he starts to walk out. And you know that you're about to get something good. And I'm hoping for the best with King Switch. Switchblade Jay White here in AEW. So the Bucks are victorious. Next we have Britt Baker, DMD, facing off against Robin Renegade. This was a generally just good match. Not much point to it until actually the post-match shenanigans. So after she hits Robin with the curb stomp and she gets that victory, she gets the lockjaw on after the fact. And then this is when everything heats up. Who comes in for the save? It's Thunder Rosa. So it looks like AEW is finally pulling the trigger on Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker to really heat up this women's division again, which has kind of been floundering a bit. I enjoyed Britt Baker's run. Don't come on the internet and try to fight me. But I think at the moment it just they haven't had much to do with her. I know they've been focusing a little bit more on the TBS title and getting Jade's title off the ground. But it's time. Let's get this Thunder Rosa Britt Baker thing underway. Obviously, this will lead to more stuff. I believe we're getting Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Martinez next week on either Rampage or Dynamite as like a makeup match. But then we have a video montage with Chris Statlander and Layla Hirsch's feud. Layla Hirsch is adopted from Russia, and Statlander hit her with a real zing. She told her that with an attitude like hers, she can see why her parents gave her up for adoption. That's a goddamn if I ever heard one. But so that feud will continue. I'm down. I can't wait to see a nice one-on-one between them two. It's going to be a good match. Next up, we had the band they call Hook. See, I knew Hook was coming because the wrestlers were all in my hotel. My girlfriend laughed at me for being a fanboy. I don't care. But like I said this on Twitter, and I'm going to ask you guys as well. Please comment below what your responses here are. What is the etiquette of walking up to a wrestler and bothering them, so to speak? Because like they stay literally at the same casino I was at, so the amount of times I saw the Ass Boys was redundant. Because my girlfriend loves gambling later at night, and I'm up all night, so it was perfect. So we were up, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning out there gambling, and the amount of wrestlers you see most of the night. I mean, they're younger. You can expect it. They're in their 20s. I saw Ricky Starks a lot. I saw the Ass Boys a lot. I was walking to a machine, and I almost ran over Adam Cole, who is traveling with obviously his girlfriend Britt Baker, and there's a certain CM Punk who was walking with them. I almost peed my pants in a literal fashion. But like, I didn't. My girlfriend laughed because I didn't go up and bother them. But every time I see them, I go, "Ooh, that's such and such. Ooh, that's MJF. Ooh, that's Wardlow. Ooh, that's," and like she laughed at me. Like the first person I saw when I walked into my hotel, we're actually heading to our room, and what we see, JR. JR is just moseying about the walkways of the casino, and I said, "Hey, Jim," and my girlfriend, who isn't a wrestling fan, so she just thought like it was some fella named Jim that I was just a good friend of. And I said, she goes, "Who the heck is that?" And I said, "Oh, that's Jim Ross, legendary announcer of AEW." And she's like, "Oh, goodness, is this going to be my whole night?" And then we kept walking, and the one person she did recognize was Chris Jericho. She noticed right away who Chris Jericho was. She said, "That guy's a wrestler, isn't he? He's on I think you have like a shirt or something with him." I said, "Yeah, that's Chris Jericho. Hi, Chris." And just a nod and keep moving, right? So, I mean, guys, please in the comments, let me know what is proper etiquette. So if this happens next time I go to Atlantic City or some other location and stay overnight where there's going to be an AEW event, what is proper etiquette to not bother them and bother them? Because, I mean, they're everywhere, but I just felt like they were also trying to have a good time. And why have me come up and like, "Hey, have a great time. I like you. You're a nice person." Like I just say hi and keep moving. And she was wondering why I wouldn't just take pictures with everybody. I don't know. I just felt like that would be a little bit weird. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys believe. So anyway, let's get on with it. I kind of started because literally one of the first two I saw Hook and Taz walk past. And I said, "Babe, that's the handsome devil Hook right there with the man Taz." So I was like, so Hook wrestling confirmed. So even without knowing the Rampage lineup, I was like, "Oh, we're about to get Hook," because he looked like he was about to hook somebody. And there's a strip club across the street from the Boardwalk Hall, so I knew that Hook would be ready to go. So Hook, he faced off against Blake Lee. This is one of the #1 prospects of QT Marshall and the Factory. Hook pretty much owned this match. QT tried to get involved once, Stuttered him for a half second, but at the end of the day, Hook hits him with the red rum, gets out of there. Nothing stops the handsome devil with the red rum, Mr. Hook. So Hook with the easy win. Then Mark Henry does his Mark Henry things. So he interviews Jurassic Express and Christian Cage with the Gun Club ass boys. So it basically was the normal. It's time for the main event split screen. We got basically Christian Cage going back and forth with Billy Gunn and the Ass Boys, Austin Gunn, who decided he was going to cosplay as Shawn Michaels tonight, and he did. And Jungle Boy said that he hopes Atlantic City drops the loudest Ass Boys chant on earth, and that they did. So this was a very good tag match. You can see the improvement in the Gun Club each week, and I think that they really do have. I believe one of them tweeted tonight that that was their first title shot, and they almost took out the best. That they're the future of the division. I can't agree more that the future of this division is very good. It's just all about how they portray it. I think the Gun Club is right in there with anybody else on how good they are. Tonight, you could see they were moving so smooth with each other. You wouldn't think that at least one of them has only had about such and such amount of matches. They've only been wrestling for 15 months, and Colton. So with Colton only wrestling for 15 months and being that into it, in Austin is the guy he has that charisma, but you can tell now he's also figuring it out pretty quickly in the ring. And this match was pretty flawless. It didn't look very botchy and sloppy. It was a great match by the four of these young competitors. I saw Luchasaurus without his dinosaur mask, guys. He's a person. Sorry. So this wound up coming with one of the coolest victories, because Jungle Boy winds up getting the win with none other than Christian Cage's kill switch. So he hits the kill switch on Austin. At one point in this match, they brained Jungle Boy with the belt, and I thought that maybe we might have a Gun Club upset. But at 2 203 Jungle Boy kicked out. Overall, this match was very good. We had a spear from Christian Cage to Billy Gunn. So Luchasaurus then sends Austin over a barricade. So it was very weird. There was a spot in this actually where Jungle Boy did a tope and hit Luchasaurus by accident. I hope this doesn't have any kind of dumb, draw. Oh no, here we go. They're all gonna hate each other thing. We don't need that. But yeah, overall good match. Christian hits Billy with the spear. Jungle Boy gets the kill switch and puts him down. Jurassic Express retains their AEW World titles, and we will see what is next for these young men in AEW, as they like to say. So, yeah, guys, this was a very good show. Next week it's going to be, I believe, it's on at 7, because of Rampage will be on at 7 due to the NBA All-Star game and All-Star events. So it'll be cool to see what Rampage does in a earlier time slot. Guys, we're getting, I believe, next week on Rampage, I believe we're getting a Switchblade Jay White match against Trent. I believe that is going to be Rampage. So there's going to be a lot of good, fun stuff coming up. Next week's Rampage, next week's Dynamite is going to be jam-packed, as they're doing dynamic numbers. If you're in the Philadelphia area, they did announce last night before the show that Dynamite's going to be returning to the Liacouras Center in Philadelphia. I believe it is mid-August or mid-April. I think April 20th or April 27th. So keep an eye out for those dates, and you'll probably see me and Ryan locked in at the Liacouras, because I have not missed a show yet. I have not missed an AEW live show that's come in my area, including the new AC dates. So it was very cool. I'm just going to say, guys, if you ever have a chance to like go away and see them, I think it's really cool. Like it was one of the coolest experiences of my life seeing like the people that I watch every week, like in person, like at the hotel and like because it was a casino, so it's not like you're hunting them down like creeps. Like literally, it would just be you could tell when they're if my girlfriend, it was hilarious. She would be gambling, hitting her slots, bop bop bop, and her code word was now suitcase. So if she saw someone with a rolled suitcase, she'd say suitcase, and I'd look up, and if it was wrestler, I would say the name and say, oh, that's blah. And without her, I don't think I would have saw most of the people that I saw, but it was very cool seeing a lot of these guys who be that close to like up close and personal too. But it was such a cool experience. But I'm glad to be back. Um, Thank you. I want to thank Ryan first and foremost for holding down the podcast while I was away. He killed it for Dynamite. He killed it for Dark Elevation. So I figured I'll kill it for Rampage since he took care of Dynamite on his own. So I got that, and I will have a news show coming on Monday. Usually, I wanted to do it by Friday, but we got home late last night, and I had some personal stuff to take care of this morning into the afternoon, so it really was not possible. So Monday there will be a news show. It'll be jam-packed news since I have a lot of backed up news. So we'll see how much of it I put on. But there will be a news show, and then of course on Wednesday we'll be back to our normally scheduled program with AEW Dynamite review with both me and Ryan. I'll be back in the saddle with my man, and we'll be doing that on Wednesday immediately after the show. So, guys, thank you again. Please remember to like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube page, Twitch. These are huge. If you're going to subscribe to YouTube, please subscribe. Hit the like button on each one of these videos that you watched. Appreciate it. Comment, man. We're down to always have conversation. So like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. This way, when we go live, you know we go live. When our video goes up, you know when one of our videos goes up. Like we said, we're really trying to make sure we put up a good amount of videos. We're not doing Dynamite, we're doing Rampage, a news show, and Ryan will now be highlighting, as he did this past week, he'll be highlighting Dark/Elevation every week to kind of show you what kind of storylines are coming out of that because we do believe that it gets overlooked. Yes, obviously, not many people are going to want to review the Dark and Elevation, which is like 3.5 hours of wrestling, with a lot of it just being wrestling and no storyline connections. But there are storylines that are progressed on those shows, and sometimes when they go on Dynamite, people go, "I don't know where that happened. Maybe it was on Dark." So it's our plan to try to prove to you that, or to try to help you guys along on that journey to figure out how this storyline went from A to Z that quick on Dynamite. So please make sure you tune in to Ryan's Dark/Elevation reviews and highlight show. And so we have Dynamite, we have Rampage, we have Dark Elevation highlight, and a new show. So there should be about 4 shows going up every week on this channel. So guys, please remember, hit that notification bell. This way you can get those notifications whenever one of our videos goes up so we can get this puppy rolling because this is our year, man. We're saying it, we're speaking it into existence. This is going to be the year that this show makes it and people are going to start watching and people are really going to appreciate what we do, and we appreciate giving you guys this because we're just having fun. So again, guys, thank you for everything, and we will see you for the Dynamite review and new show on Monday. All right, guys.